So let's wrap this up today in our part 4. Some things I won't be able to discuss for time purposes. I wrote down the Bible passages for you to research on your own because we certainly don't have time to read all of this. But we know that there's a census, and it tells us that Joseph has to go to Bethlehem, and we know Jesus is born in Bethlehem. So Luke 2, verse 4 and 5 says this: Joseph also went up from Galilee out of the city of Nazareth into Judea to the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of David, to be registered with Mary, his betrothed wife, who was with child. So Jesus is going to be born in Bethlehem. Joseph has to go there because there is a census. 2 Chronicles 24, verse 4 through 10, speaks about having to pay taxes. Now, in an agricultural world, how would you have money to pay taxes that you owe? You wouldn't have it in the spring because nothing has been harvested yet. It's making sense that this would be a fall birth when money has come in to be able to pay the taxes, and you have to go and be registered for this census. Now, Luke 2, verse 8 speaks about shepherds being in the field. So it's December, it's still cold. In December, nothing is growing. So there's going to be limited resources in the fields for the lambs, for the sheep, etc. There's no lambs born in December. So there's limited opportunity for grain, etc., things like that, because nothing is growing. Everything has been harvested. So shepherds are not going to be in the field in December watching over their sheep that have limited resources in December. That doesn't make sense. So crops being harvested in the fall, when there is that ability to pay taxes after the crops have been harvested. Now, we know that the fall festival is the Feast of Tabernacles or Sukkot, and we know that all the males have to go to Jerusalem. Well, they can't Uber, they still have to walk and they still have to get there. And there's still some distance apart. And actually, Bethlehem and Jerusalem are about 6 miles, are a little bit under 6 miles apart. But the other reason that a fall birth makes sense is that in Jerusalem is where everybody would go. It would make sense that there wouldn't be room in the inn because people are needing to Sukkot to make a little shelter. But that's in Jerusalem. Jesus was born in Bethlehem. So if people are coming in for the census and people have to pay taxes, you could see there wouldn't be any room in the inn. It doesn't have anything to do with the Feast of Tabernacles or Sukkot because that's in Jerusalem. That's not Bethlehem. And do you think 6 miles, how quickly do you think it could take them to get there for everything that they need? So the fall time makes sense. People are going to Jerusalem. It's busy there as well for tabernacles, etc. But that doesn't have anything to do with the fact that Jesus was born in Bethlehem, where the census is and people have to pay their taxes. Now, this is something I hadn't thought of before that I'm going to share. So think about this. If you needed to go for the census and you also needed to pay taxes, think about what people would be bringing with them to go to a census or to pay taxes. People need sustenance. People need crops. This is something I just thought of the other day. So in the fall time, when you're harvesting your crops, your grapes, your dates, mangoes, whatever it is that they're harvesting, it makes sense that it would be in the fall because somebody has to be able to provide sustenance for these people that are all coming for the census and to pay taxes. It doesn't make sense that it would be in the spring. Where would you get food to feed people? See, this is why the fall birth makes sense. I'm almost out of time. I didn't talk about Migdal Eder, which is a biblical location near Bethlehem. There wasn't time. You could maybe look that up. But also, the winter solstice is December 25th. Remember, we talked about Pope Gregory wanting to marry together Christian events with pagan events, and the significance of the winter solstice is that there are some ancient celebrations, etc., not necessarily godly. Armor up, we ride at dawn. May God bless you as always. Have a great day.